Oh, my loves. I want to start out by acknowledging some of the intense energies we've been walking through this full moon that just happened yesterday. And then I'm also going to share some updates around my own experiences. So, this has been quite an intense few weeks. And I know for me, and those of you that did the Uncensored series with me, there's been a lot opening up and revealing, a lot coming to light, which did lead me to actually finally start the Illumination series. And again, like I said, my work really goes with the collective themes that are coming up. So I will interweave talking about that for any of you who are interested. But especially over the last few days, like leading up to the moon, there was a lot of physical symptoms coming up. And you may even found that they were cycling through quite quickly. Like maybe you felt physically uncomfortable and then you would feel better, or feel in pain and then it would shift, or things would feel really heavy and then you would have a breakthrough, but then you would go back to feeling heavy again. This seemed to be part of what we were moving through, but also processing potentially unexpected grief. And what I was sensing and picking up on was that we were actually getting to where the grief was embedded in the physical body. And that was part of why there was so many physical symptoms coming up. So you may have also experienced crying out of nowhere, or even processing griefs that you thought you processed a long time ago. But as those shifted, it was shifting out of the body. And I don't know about you guys, but things seem to be lightening up, but I can sense there's still a bit more that wants to be processed. So this may keep going for the next few days or so. And again, yesterday, part of what has been coming up over the last few weeks, as that uncensored energy has been revealing more and more, this specific spot where a lot of times we think about the mental and the emotional energies being separate, right? And they are two unique things, but they are both sourced from the mind energy. And so it feels really important that we work with those cohesively, acknowledging the mental and emotional aspects of ourselves. And so, a big part of what came through in the first illumination session was revealing, healing, and sealing up where those splits were happening in the system. And I know if you guys saw that I posted the first session over on the post tab, and I know sometimes like the language can sound really definitive in what I speak, but what I do is I share how it actually channels through in the sessions, what our collective here is working on, and what we're in the energetic process of not just shifting out of, but what we're seeding and bringing in on an energetic intention. Okay, so if you think about it, like my videos, these videos here are more like, okay, how are we actually working with these concepts? How are we working with these energies and then embodying them practically in the physical world in our day to day life, right? And the sessions and the series that I do are actually that higher support, that higher energetic support from our higher selves in source that can help us, like, basically beam in and see more clearly. And where can we unravel out of, where can we embody into? And it's not necessary for you to do it, it's just a process that's available for those of you that want the support, or you want to really focus your intention on your embodiment, and the sessions are supportive for you. It's really powerful where we choose to focus our energy and what we believe. And as we unravel the limitations or the limiting beliefs, we can energetically start to get underneath a lot of the heaviness and really embody into our own sovereign truth. this is really important. I just simply share my understanding, my perspective, things that have worked for me, and then also couple it with how the higher power is guiding me and the collective that I'm connected to, how we are co creating this process together. So if it resonates, wonderful. If it doesn't, wonderful. It's all okay. It's really just important that you're connecting in with your truth and what feels aligned for you. And if what I'm saying supports you, awesome. Then keep going, you know? And if not, I know and I trust that you will find what is exactly meant for you in your process. Okay. So again, the illumination series is going to be a 4-part series. Everything will be in the pinned comment for any of you who want to participate with that. Again, there's also a whole library of recorded sessions and topics over on my website if you want to explore that. That's another thing, and the reason why I do these is so that it's a support, but ultimately this is about, my biggest intention is just supporting you and trusting yourself more and more and more, and really holding the higher energy again, not because it's what Danielle says, it's just simply holding a sacred space to allow that energy from your higher power, from source, from what is aligned for you to come through for you. And then you take whatever supports those are and run with those for yourself. Okay. Anyway, taking it back to these mental emotional splits, another thing that's been coming through over the past few weeks that I've been seeing and working on within my own system is where we have the ancestral system. We obviously have the mother's side, and then we have the father's side, but and the gifts that we receive from both sides, and obviously also the topics that we came to work through. And so there's also a shared space between the mother and father's lineage where there can be shared ancestral patterns that can, if they're from both sides, it can get a lot heavier and stickier, which is what I believe we've been processing, especially over these last few weeks. And so it's been a bit heavier to work through. Then also those are the same places where you have the shared gifts. Now, remember, you are a product of both of those lineages. So each generation is getting more gifts. And as they're working through it, we've been getting also more topics. So that is sometimes, or maybe all of the time, why we are working at deeper layers, at least for the time being. Okay. And so working with the splits in the mental and emotional bodies together, honoring that as our mind. And yes, we are physical, spiritual human beings, and we all have a mind. So, working with that higher mind, our physical human mind, and embracing both the mental and emotional aspects and allowing those to work together more clearly as we release some of that compartmentalization of the emotions, and allowing the emotions and the mind and the mental body to really integrate together in a new way. Excuse me. Apologies for that. I had to take that call, and I feel like that happened for a reason too, because it feels like whatever I said in the first part was exactly the message that was meant to come through for that part. I also just wanted to let you know that I'm also myself going through a really big upgrade. I can feel where my perspectives, my visions, my understanding, my understanding is all massively upgrading. And that's part of why I've been a bit quieter, to just give myself the space to integrate at deeper levels. And so for a time, I may be a little bit quieter. You may also see some updates and some upgrades on the channel, on my website. I'm just really taking some space to let that growth occur, both for myself and for the channel, because it's through this process of my own evolution that I can bring forth more new perspectives, that you may enjoy as we go into this next phase at a deeper level. So, I definitely walk my talk, and I'm going through my own process of a deeper uncensoring and revealing through this illumination process. And I am really looking forward to what is next, because I can say when I started this channel, I really was in the midst of a very deep transformation for myself at that time. And I was guided to come on and just share the perspectives and things that I was finding along my path. And my biggest intention was that I wanted to resolve my pain and resolve and understand this process of the divine counterpart twin flame initiation, and really integrate that resolution for myself, no matter what was happening in the world, no matter what was happening with the counterpart. And I'm excited to say that I absolutely feel that I have achieved that process of feeling resolved and peaceful and union within. And so I'm allowing the next levels to evolve for myself. And it feels awesome to have really accomplished something that I knew I intended, but there was a long time that I questioned if it was even going to fully be possible in the way that I was envisioning or that I was witnessing in my visions. And lo and behold, here I am. So I'm really excited for these next levels of evolution. And no matter where you are on the journey, it's so important that you have your intentions for yourself and remember that you are a powerful creator and a powerful co-creator with source. And each and every one of you have your own unique journey, and there are lots of levels of learning to surrender, but also learning how to co-create and intend to manifest what's aligned for you in your highest potential. And so whatever way that unfolds for you, again, I'm just here to share what my perspectives are, some of the things that I've been able to accomplish, and the things that I'm still evolving into, because isn't that what life is all about? All right, my loves, I'm going to leave it there. Again, I will put the illumination series in the pinned comment and all of my other information. I will be on as always as I am guided. I hope you're doing well. And I would love to hear from you in the comments if you feel it's aligned. All right, take care. Much love. Bye.